President Trump displayed mixed emotions following the two judgments on the release of his financial records.
Well, the rulings were basically starting all over again, sending everything back down to the lower courts, and you start all over again. And so from a certain point, I'm satisfied. From another point, I'm not satisfied, because frankly, this is a political witch hunt, the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. It's a pure witch hunt. It's a hoax, just like the Mueller investigation was a hoax that I won.
These Supreme Court rulings weren't even close. Each one had a 7-2 majority that included Trump appointees Justices Gorsuch and Kavanaugh. The court threw out the president's lawyers' arguments that their client has immunity from investigation in both cases. Chief Justice John Roberts writing that no citizen, not even the president, is categorically above the common duty to produce evidence when called upon in a criminal proceeding. So authorities in New York are allowed to secure records from the president's accounting firm through the courts. The city's district attorney hailed the decision. Cyrus Vance Jr. said it's in keeping with the USA's founding principles and added the investigation, which was delayed for almost a year by this lawsuit, will resume, guided as always by the grand jury's solemn obligation to follow the law and the facts wherever they may lead. But New York's grand jury investigation into potential wrongdoing by Trump and the Trump Organization is held in secret. So barring a leak, the public will not see the records if and when it receives them. Investigators are looking into whether an alleged hush money deal with two women who claim to have had an affair with Trump broke the law. Congress, however, could release Donald Trump's financial records to the public if House committees win the right to see them. And that may or may not happen now. But the House Speaker welcomed the justices' upholding of the principle that Congress has the right to subpoena the president.
The Supreme Court, including the president's appointees, have declared that he is not above the law. The path that the Supreme Court has laid out is one that is clearly achievable by us in the lower court, and we will continue to go down that path.
But the Supreme Court has enacted limitations on Congress that it will now have to meet in the lower courts, among them to prove that any information that is requested will have a direct impact on legislation. Always hanging over the issue of Donald Trump's tax records are statements like this, dating back to before the 2016 election. I'm clean, and when I release my financial statement, my decision, sometime prior to election, it will only show one thing, that I'm much richer than people even thought. Yet the president has fought their release ever since, so there is some comfort to be had for the president. Donald Trump's arguments regarding presidential immunity did not win, but these rulings will not result in the release of Donald Trump's closely held financial records before November's elections. Shihab, Rattansi, Al Jazeera, Washington.